O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to today's deep dive into a really fascinating 15th century historical document. We're looking at this bizarre 1470 German black book called the Ars Memorandi. And the mission today for you listening is to explore how this wild woodcut functioned as like a masterclass in memory hacking and theological instruction.
Yeah, it is a truly wild document.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this. Back then, early movable type couldn't really seamlessly integrate text with complex spatial diagrams.
Right. The printing technology just wasn't there yet for that kind of mixed layout.
Exactly. So artisans used xylography. They carved entire pages, both text and image, into single blocks of wood to create these unyielding permanent mental maps.
And because the medium required absolute spatial rigidity, it perfectly supported the classical ars memorativa, or the art of memory, which, relies on unforgettable mental architecture.
Unforgettable is definitely the right word for this thing.
Yeah, well, cognitive psychology actually calls this mechanism imagines agentes, active images. The brain naturally deletes the ordinary, but fiercely retains the anomalous, the grotesque. Basically, memory requires cognitive friction.
I get that. But I kind of question the standard memory palace technique here. Usually you visualize a familiar house, right?
Right. A familiar spatial environment.
But this woodcut, it's not a house. It's like a mutant memory bird. They took the majestic eagle of St. John, flattened it like a 2D map, and made it sprout 3 heads while balancing random objects. Wouldn't a 15th century student just get overwhelmed by this? It seems functionally impossible to forget, sure, but also impossible to parse.
You'd think it would be too cluttered, yeah. But architectural buildings are actually prone to interference. Like, one imagined chapel looks just like another chapel, so you risk confusing different texts.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. So the bizarre layout is actually intentional.
Exactly. A flattened, grotesque eagle provides an utterly unique spatial background. The eagle's anatomical features act as the loci. The permanent spatial background and the weird objects stacked on it are the imagines.
So those are the active symbols holding the actual data, which turns the anatomy into an exact filing cabinet for the first 6 chapters of John's Gospel.
You got it. The visual friction isn't arbitrary. You start at the top locus, the neck. The imago place there is a triune head, so a dove and 2 human faces representing John chapter 1, the Trinity.
And then the eye just naturally moves down.
Right, down to the chest. There's a lute there symbolizing the joy at the wedding at Cana in chapter 2. Further down at the feet, a bucket for the woman at the well in chapter 4. And out on the wings, loaves and fishes for chapter 6.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The anatomical placement for chapter 3 is absolutely brilliant. You have these tiny figures representing Nicodemus placed right near the eagle's loins.
It is such a clever detail.
Right. Because in the text, Nicodemus gets confused by the concept of being born again, asking how a grown man can re-enter a womb. So it's a brilliant, literal joke, mapping Nicodemus's confusion about physical versus spiritual rebirth directly onto the bird's reproductive anatomy.
Yeah, the spatial location does heavy lifting there. And beyond just remembering the text, this specific combination of a majestic eagle and mundane objects teaches a deeper lesson. It's incarnational theology.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, the eagle is the classical symbol of soaring divine vision. By weighing down the celestial bird with earthly junk like barrels, fish, Lute's the image proves its theological thesis. It literally shows the eternal word entering the messy, material world.
So what does this all mean? For you listening, to beat modern information overload, you shouldn't just summarize things. You need to attach facts to startling, vivid associations.
Right, we assume sleek minimalism helps us focus, but human memory actually thrives on the grotesque and the unexpected.
So think about this. If our modern digital interfaces were designed using the grotesque, unforgettable principles of imagines agentes rather than sleek, minimalist designs, would our technological memory actually improve? Maybe our desktops need fewer neat folders and a few more mutant memory birds.